Hi, welcome to Yoga Lady. So I'd like to share with you a little practice that is especially for people suffering with lower backache. And before I continue with this practice, I'd just like to say that I'm not a doctor, I'm not a physio, but I have had backache before. I used to suffer a lot with lower backache, and I've found that throughout my years of practicing yoga and teaching yoga, which is about 10 years now, I don't get lower backache anymore. So I think the yoga really helps. But everybody's lower backache might be slightly different and might come from a different cause. So firstly, don't do anything that doesn't feel good. You might find that some postures aren't the right ones for you, in which case just back out or skip them. You don't have to do any of it. But you might find that some of them are really useful, and if practiced over a period of time could really help. So it's in your own hands really, but what I offer is just an invitation. Okay, so you'll need a few props, probably a cushion and some kind of strap like a belt or a scarf or something. I'm just going to switch the music up a little bit. Good, and then we're going to start with this lovely posture which is called child's pose. So if you have your cushion like that, and then take your knees wide. Oh, I'm going to switch it down a little bit now. Take your knees wide and bring your big toes together, and then take your cushion like this in towards you, and then start to lie down onto the cushion and just rest your head onto one side. You're drawing the hips back and the crown of the head forward and lengthening the spine. So as you inhale, you're lengthening the spine, and as you exhale, you're drawing the hips back, and feel that you can broaden across the lower back, really broaden across there. And then bring your breath all the way down into that area of the sacrum, back of the sacrum. Good, and then you might turn your head to the other side. Keep lengthening through the spine. So this posture, you could actually hold it for a while. You could hold it for up to 5 minutes. But I'm just going to talk you through the rest of the postures, and hopefully you'll be able to take some of the postures from this practice and use those that you find work best for you, for your own practice. So this is the first one, child's pose. And then from here we're going to walk the hands in towards the body and come up onto the hands and the knees. You might move your cushion now. And then spread your fingers nice and wide, and then just start to circle your shoulders around your wrists and your hips around your knees. And as you're doing that, draw the navel gently in towards the spine. So lower back issues can be a symptom of a lot of different things. Sometimes weakness in the core can contribute to lower back issues, or it could be tight hamstrings or weak glutes. There's lots and lots of different reasons why you could be having lower backache. Good, so we're just circling and then going the other way, circling the other way. Just feeling into the shoulders, feeling into the hips, nice fluid movements. Good. And then coming back through to centre and breathing and lifting your heart and lifting your tailbone. Now if this starts to hurt your lower back, just lift the heart. Don't lift the tailbone as well, so only do that if it feels okay. And then as you exhale, draw the navel towards the spine, drop the chin to the chest, and lift up the space at the back of the heart. Inhale as you extend the spine forward and up, and then exhale and arch back. So you're drawing the navel back. Inhale, lifting the heart, extending the spine, looking forwards, and then exhale, arching back. Good, let's do that one more time. So this is really nice for keeping your spine nice and supple. It's almost like you're massaging the spine. creating space between the vertebrae. And it's the breath that guides you through the movement. Good, and then let's come back through to centre. And then from here, we're going to make our way into a down dog. So we tuck the toes. We're going to come into a down dog pose, but you're going to keep your knees bent. So you're going to come up onto the balls of the feet with the knees bent. And then give your head a little shake. You might rest your belly onto your thighs here. If it feels okay to start to straighten one leg and then the other, you can do that. So what you're doing is lengthening the spine, and you're pressing down into the base of your thumb and your index finger, and you're spreading out your hands like feet, opening the armpits nice and wide, and then drawing the chest in towards the thighs. You don't have to straighten the legs, so if your hamstrings are tight, just have a bend in your knees. Good, and then from here, let's come down onto the knees, and then lower all the way down onto the belly. And now slide your arms forward so that you come onto your elbows and your forearms. And then just turn your knees in a little bit so that the backs of the thighs can broaden. Check that the elbows are exactly under the shoulders, forearms parallel. And then press down into all 10 of your toe knuckles and your thighs and your pubic bone. And then lift your heart forward and up. So you're just looking forward. So it might be that this feels okay, or if it feels too strong, just lower down. But I probably wouldn't come any further than this if you're having lower backache at the moment. Just work with this. So you're opening the front side of the body. You're gently engaging the glutes. That might help if the lower back's a little bit tender. Good. And then from here, we're going to lower all the way down onto the ground and bring the hands under the shoulders and tuck the toes. Press into the hands, come back onto your knees, and then tuck your toes and lift up your hips, coming back into that down dog pose. And then just look towards your feet. Have your feet about hip width apart and walk your hands in towards your feet, and then bend your knees a lot so that you can rest your belly onto your thighs. And then just let the weight of your body cascade down over the legs. Shake out the shoulders, the head, the neck, the upper back. The knees are bent. That's really important if you've got lower back issues. Just bend the knees. And then from here, we're going to bring the hands onto the front of the legs and walk the hands up the legs, slowly coming up, coming all the way up to standing. Good, and then for the next bit we're going to use the wall. So I've got a nice little bit of wall sticking out here which I'm going to put my hands onto. So you're going to find a bit of wall space and bring your hands onto the wall. Have your hands level so they're both at the same height. And then check where your feet are. You want your feet about hip width apart, outer edges parallel, and then you're going to press down into the heels, lengthen through the spine. And draw the navel in towards the spine, and then just gently press into the wall. If your hamstrings are tight, bend your knees a little bit and keep drawing navel up towards the spine. And then find your breath. See if you can bring your breath all the way down into the lower back. And with every exhalation, there's a sense of release, releasing tension from the body. Good, and then from here, let's walk the hands up the wall and walk the feet a little bit closer in towards the wall. And then we're going to take another posture using the wall. So we're going to have the hands at the wall, bring your weight onto your left foot, bend the left knee, and then take the right ankle over the left thigh. Keep the foot flexed. And then you're starting to draw the right knee down towards the ground. Lightly draw the navel back so that you're lengthening the sacrum kind of downwards. And then you could bring your fingertips onto the wall and start to walk the hands down the wall. Just coming to a place where you feel a nice stretch. And then holding it there. Breathing into it. Keep drawing that right knee down. So So you can walk your hands down as far as you like, as far as feels comfortable. Come to the point where you can feel it and it feels good, but it doesn't feel too much. And then walk the hands up the wall. And we'll do that on the other side. So we'll bring the right foot down, bend the right knee, and then take the left ankle over the right thigh. You're drawing the left knee down towards the ground and then walking the hands down, drawing the left knee down. Sink your bum down, draw the navel back. Really feel that lovely sense of lengthening here down the sacrum as you draw the navel in. And then walk the hands up the wall. Lovely. And release the leg. Good, so those two can be quite useful for lower backache. And now we're going to come back down again. So if you have your feet about hip width apart, inhale the arms up. As you exhale, bend your knees and then bring your hands down to the ground with bent knees. Plant the hands down and then walk the feet back. Come onto your knees. You might need your cushion for the next pose, so have your cushion handy and I'll demonstrate like this. So you're on your hands and your knees and then you're going to bring your right knee to your right wrist and then slide your left leg back. So if you have a look at your right heel, it's going to face in towards your left hip bone. There might be a big gap under your right buttock, so if you grab your cushion and just get it under your right buttock and the top of the thigh so that your pelvis can be level, and then look behind you and check that your left leg's going straight back along the mat, and then press down into all 5 of those toe knuckles on your left foot, and then come up onto your fingertips and lengthen the spine. And then you can walk your hands forward and maybe come onto your elbows and your forearms. You could be here, holding it, breathing into the pose. Or if it's comfortable for you to reach your arms forward and then rest the forehead down, then you can do that. Good, and then gently walk your hands in towards you. Press down into the hands and come back onto your hands and your knees, and we'll do that on the other side. So now we're going to bring the left knee to the left wrist, slide the right leg back, press down into all 5 of your right toe knuckles and maybe bring your cushion under your left buttock. Just check that your left heel comes towards your right hip bone, and then you could take a little lengthening upwards here and then exhaling all the way down onto elbows and forearms. Try to keep the pelvis nice and level, and then maybe reach the arms forward and melt the heart down to the ground. Good, and then just gently walking your hands in towards you. So again, that's a posture that you might like to hold for a little bit longer and just really sink down into. It might be one that works for you, it might not. So keep checking in, see what works for you. And then we're going to come back up onto the hands and the knees. And then from here, legs up the wall. This one's great. So this might be exactly what you need. So we're going to take the legs up the wall, and I'm just going to show you how to do that easily and comfortably. So if you sit with your right hip to the wall and then lie down onto your back and then swing your legs up the wall and shuffle your bum right into the wall. Okay, so your bum's touching the wall and the legs are up the wall. Good, and then you're just stacking up the bones and the joints like that and pressing the lower back down. So you can be here, you can stay here for quite a while if you like. And there's other variations that you can do. You could take your legs out to the sides, really lengthening the inner thighs. You could be there for a while. Notice how the lower back can broaden and the belly softens. Or you can bring the soles of your feet together and be here. And another variation is to bring your feet onto the wall. Have your feet about hip width apart. Take a breath in through your nose, and then as you breathe out, just press into your feet and lift up your tailbone by pressing into the feet. And then slowly lower down. And you could do that a few times. You take a breath in, and then as you breathe out, you press into your feet and lift up through the spine, and then exhale slowly down. And you could just do that a few times. Take a few repetitions, breathing in. And as you breathe out, press into your feet, lift up your tailbone, lift up through the spine, and then slowly lower down. Breathing in. And as you breathe out, press into the feet, lifting up, and then breathing out. Good. Let's do that one more time. And then slowly lower down. And just bring your knees to one side. Use your arms to help you. And come to lying on your mat and have your belt handy. So have your belt next to you. Lie down. Good. Have your feet about hip width apart. So this is actually a really nice posture, just lying like this with your knees bent. You could drop the knees together. That's really nice for lower back. You kind of press the lower back down and really broaden across the sacrum. Or you can take your right ankle over your left thigh, pick up the left knee, catch hold of the back of the left thigh and start to draw that left knee in towards you. If that's not comfortable, you could just have your right ankle over the left thigh like that and be drawing the right knee away. So you can do this version or this version. Good, so if you do one side and then do the other side, left ankle over right thigh, pick up the right knee, catch hold of the back of the right thigh, and then lower that right leg down. Good, and then just bring your feet flat down onto the ground. Bring your right knee in towards your chest, bring your hands around the shin, hug that right knee in, and then take your belt or strap and bring it around the ball of your right foot. So you're holding the belt just a few inches away from the foot, and then you're going to push your foot into the belt and extend the leg up. So if your back's painful, you might want to keep that left leg bent. Otherwise, you can slide the left leg away. Good, you're extending the right leg up and then just holding the belt with the, in fact, let's just keep the belt like this. Yeah, let's do this. So we're kind of extending the leg up, gently straightening up the back of the leg. If your hamstrings are tight, you won't be able to straighten the leg. You'll just have a little bend in the knee. Good. And then we're going to bend that leg and move the belt. Bring the sole of the foot down. Let's do the other side. So we're going to hug in the left knee and then take the belt around the ball of the left foot and extend that left leg up. Keep the shoulders relaxing down. Keep the pelvis nice and heavy on the ground, broadening across the sacrum, drawing the navel towards the spine, softening your face, your tongue, your jaw, your throat. Good. And then gently release. Move the belt to one side, bend the knee, bring the sole of that left foot down onto the ground. And then from here, let's take one more little back bend. So we're going to take a breath in. And then as you breathe out, press down into your feet. And as you press into your feet, start to lift up through your spine and reach your arms up and over your head at the same time, so that you come to lying on your shoulders and you're drawing the chest towards the chin and the knees away from the body, gently engaging the glutes. And then slowly lower all the way down to the ground. And then bring your knees into your chest, hug them in. You might rock from side to side across your sacrum. Bring your right hand to the outside of the left knee. Slide your left arm over to the left and then drop both of your knees over to the right. Keep the left shoulder softening down to the ground and turn to look out over the left arm. See how this feels in your lower back. Hopefully it feels okay. And if it doesn't, just gently come out of the pose. And this is another posture that you might like to hold for a few minutes in your own practice. Good, and then bring the knees up to centre. Take the left hand to the outside of the right knee and then drop both knees over to the left and soften the right shoulder down to the ground and turn to look out over the right arm. Soften your face, your tongue, your jaw, your throat. And then inhale the legs back through to centre. And then if you just take your arms inside your knees, reach the arms up. If you can catch hold of the outer edges of your feet, do that. And if you can't, just bring your hands to the backs of the thighs, stacking the ankles over the knees and bringing the knees towards the armpits and pressing the lower back down. Good, and then you might rock from side to side across the sacrum. So this is the blissful baby pose, and this one's great for your lower back. Just feel that you can really broaden there. And then with rocking, you're massaging lower back. Good, and then when you're done, if you bring the soles of your feet together, and then lift up your pelvis, lengthen your tailbone towards your heels, let the knees come wide apart, bring your hands onto your belly. You can take Yoni Mudra, so the thumbs and index fingers come together. The thumbs come towards the navel, index fingers towards the pubic bone, and then the heels of the hands rest onto the ilium bones, and the inner thighs lengthen, and the lower back's nice and broad. And then bring your awareness to your breath, and bring your breath all the way down into the lower belly. So you feel the rise of your belly on the inhalation, and the fall of the belly on the exhalation. Good, and then when you're ready, just bring your knees up together and take your feet a little bit wider. You might rest the knees together and then let the arms come out to the sides and soften the shoulders down. Lengthen the back of your neck. Bring in your awareness to your breath. Take a breath in through your nose. Exhale through the mouth. Inhaling through the nose. As you exhale, feel the body becoming heavy and relaxed. A sense of release, of surrender, of letting go. Completely releasing and relaxing all the muscles in your feet, your heels, ankles, calves and shins, the knees, thighs, the buttocks, the lower back, the middle back, the upper back, the shoulders rolling outwards and downwards, tops of the arms, elbows, forearms, hands, fingers, up to the back of the head, the crown of the head, and the face, the forehead, the eyes sinking into the back of the head, softening cheeks, lips, mouth, jaw, throat, chest, navel, abdomen. Feel the whole body completely relaxed. As you allow yourself to relax and surrender and sink into a place of peace and serenity. Good, so you can stay here for as long as you like, relaxing. Or you can start to bring a little bit of movement into your hands and your feet and wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes, and then roll onto one side and press down into your hands, and then use your arms to help you come all the way up to a comfortable seated position. And then just bring your left hand to your heart and your right hand to your belly. Breathing into your heart space. Breathing all the way down into the lower belly. Breathing out completely. And then bringing your right hand to meet your left hand in the gesture of love and gratitude. And I invite you just to breathe in love and exhale gratitude. And then lift your heart to your hands and bow to the wisdom in your own heart. Namaste. And I hope that that was useful if you're having any lower back pain. Just choose the postures that work for you and then keep practicing them, and then slowly start to build up. But a regular yoga practice is really useful, and it's helped me so much with my own back issues. So yeah, just keep going with it and it will get better. Thank you. Sending you lots of love.